Almost live from Dunkirk, New York. It's Revitalize Dunkirk. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Valerie.
How are you tonight?
Oh, just fine.
How was yesterday? What happened yesterday?
Well, we had a bunch of folks go with us and do a hike at Battery Point.
What's Battery Point?
Well, it's
A Delco service of some sort?
yes. Go to Battery Point and get your battery checked.
What is Battery Point, Jim?
It's an area, city-owned property just east of Wright Park, on the other side of the wastewater treatment plant, that is basically overgrown, and we're looking to make it into some kind of nature area, so simple paths, or just almost like it is now, just a little bit more
Cleaned up and accessible.
Right.
It's a lovely spot for bird watching and just enjoying nature.
Mm-hmm.
And how many boots on the ground were there yesterday?
Well, let me see. 26.
26 boots on the ground. So we had 13 hikers. It was a nice group.
Yeah.
All ages.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised that we had that many, and then we even had youngsters. We had
Oldsters.
yeah, newsters.
Newsters.
So
It was a nice day, and it was in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
The weather cooperated, and we showed them some of the highlights of the area and the beautiful views from cliff sides, and what we had imagined for if we're able to, in working with the city cooperatively, to get the area cleaned up. And even when I came out of the Battery Point area, somebody who was coming from the ball field asked me, "Are you guys in there cleaning up that area?" And I said, "Not yet," but that is the plan. Mm-hmm. And we were lucky enough to also meet with city officials in early May and talked about the possibilities for that area. Mm-hmm. And we, meaning the representatives from Revitalize Dunkirk, walked away from that meeting thinking, yay, it's actually possibly going to happen. Right. And so the city seemed to be very receptive to the ideas. And because we were quick to explain that we don't perceive blacktopping or cement paths or anything like that. We want to keep it as natural as possible, and we're not looking for any big ticket items.
Yeah, my two phrases that I like to use for it are low cost and low maintenance.
Right.
Anything that simple as can be.
Right, but it's a lovely parcel, and we certainly had we called it a hike yesterday, and it was a hike.
Yeah, and it actually was sort of dried out because with all this rain we've been having, I figured out we're going to be in a little bit of mud, but it was actually drying out.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it was a great day, and we had a really nice group of people, and everyone at the end of the hike, they were all glad they came and took the time, and we were there for about an hour and a half, 45 minutes, something like that.
Even opened up a few of their eyes that, like, I'm glad to come. I got to see this. And,
right. Right. We've also been talking about in Revitalize Dunkirk that maybe down the road in late spring, early summer, we might possibly have another hike with a purpose of picking up paper trash and cans that are laying about. We don't have any plans finalized yet, but we thought that might be a good way to get other people out there with some garbage bags and pick up some of the trash.
Yeah, because unfortunately there is a litter problem out there, that people go out there for whatever reason and leave their soda bottles or
water bottles, beer cans, things like that.
And
we do have in Revitalize Dunkirk an ad hoc committee devoted to trying to see that area possibly gets developed for the residents and tourists that visit us. And our next committee meeting talking about Battery Point only is on Friday evening, May the 31st at 6:30. Pardon me for my cold. And we meet at the incubator on Central Avenue, the SUNY Fredonia Incubator on Central Avenue in Dunkirk. And again, it's May 31st at 6:30. And we'll only be talking about Battery Point at that meeting. So don't think that that's our general monthly membership meeting. So anyone that's interested in helping us out in trying to promote that area, we're excited about possibly getting school students involved down the road also. We have lots and lots of ideas. We want to keep it simple, but we have plenty of ideas on how to keep it simple.
Right.
And I think it would be a real bonus for the community. We have another event coming up. Well, the whole city has an event coming up on Memorial Day, which is Monday, May the 27th. And Jim, you want to tell our audience what we're doing on Memorial Day?
Okay, we're going to have what I refer to as our hydration station at the end of the parade for the parade participants. That we're going to have popsicles and beverages like water and some fruit juice and like that for them to make sure that they're hydrated, give them a little bit of a thank you for marching in the parade because it might be hot.
It might be. I mean, if it was like yesterday, it will be hot, but
So-
May is very unpredictable in terms of the weather.
So, but just a little effort that we're putting forth to, thank the participants in the parade and, give the, something a little bit different this year from Revitalize Dunkirk.
We've never done it before.
No.
We participated in terms of volunteering to help the city at the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and that sort of kind of spun off into this idea. Actually, it was our president's idea, Jim Fisher's idea, to do the hydration station. And so we're happy to do it, and we're happy to provide some refreshments.
So yeah, it should be interesting to see how it all plays out.
And again, where it's going to be located?
Oh, yes. At the end of the parade, at the corner of 5th and Washington, you can come and say hi to us even. We'd like to meet other city residents that
Right.
might want to talk to us or, see what we're all about. So, come and check us out at our little hydration station at the end of the parade.
Okay, we have another event. We've been very busy planning things for this spring. And another event that we're sponsoring to help out the city is going to happen on June the 1st, and it's our citywide cleanup. Jim, can you describe that for us?
Well, we're going to be starting behind or in the back parking lot at the incubator, 214 Central Avenue, Fredonia Technology Incubator.
There's plenty of parking back there.
That's right. And we're going to have coffee and donuts before we all march off into different areas of the city to collect trash and debris and litter. And let's see, I'm trying to think what else.
We're providing, tell them what we're providing for the cleanup.
Gloves and trash bags. 'Cause
Right.
I think we'll need a few trash bags.
Right.
So.
And then we're going to have pickups arranged for where we're going to leave the garbage bags throughout the city.
Through,
So it's organized by Nicole Waite, who's our secretary, is doing the majority of the organizing for this
she did
event.
a good job because
Yeah.
I believe it's getting a lot of traction. There's
Yeah,
a lot of people that are
a lot of
interested.
people are asking and are interested, and anyone can participate from the city. All ages, families can turn
Or
out.
if you live in Casadega, come on down.
Come on down. And at the beginning of the June 1st cleanup, we're going to have coffee and donuts to get us started and fueled up
Get
for
all
the
that
cleanup.
caffeine racing through the veins.
And I believe we're going to conclude by noonish.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe
9 to
that's
noon,
right.
yeah.
9 to noon. So come out a little bit before 9 o'clock in the morning on June the 1st. And again, we're going to provide gloves and trash bags and directions so you can help out. We've done these before. This isn't a first. We've had several cleanups in the past.
Yeah, this one seems like it is the most
Organized.
organized and everybody's interested in that.
Right.
It seems like it's going to take off. So.
Right. So that's another event that we're having or we're sponsoring. Pardon me for my coughing. We can't forget, Jim, to talk about our BYOCs.
Yeah,
And that stands for?
Bring your own chair.
Right, they're sunset watches. This is our 4th year of sponsoring sunset watches along the lakefront, of course, Lake Erie, in the city. And we're excited for this year because we're adding a couple of new twists. And our first one is going to be Sunday, June the 23rd at Wright Park. And we're hoping to offer Tai Chi at that June the 23rd Sunset Watch. And we're hoping to have a bonfire. We're certainly coordinating with the city. And Jim, you want to talk about the bonfires that we've had before?
We're going, we've had bonfires, I believe, 2 years now at the point for our first BYOC of the year. And the first year it was spectacular. We had many people there down on the beach, up on the upper area there, right along the road, and it was a big bonfire, rather warm and comfy. So it was pretty neat. Then we had last year we actually did I guess you could call it a live show from there.
We're hoping to do that again, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We interviewed people that came to the event, and that was kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
For people who would be willing to talk with us.
Yeah, or just watch like the fire. We had to thank them for putting on or setting up the
Yes, we have the
bonfire.
fire department there. We don't do this on our own. So Jim coordinates with the Dunkirk Fire Department.
Yep,
and there's plenty of wood down at Wright Park Beach because I keep checking it out. And so there's lots of wood to burn down there. And so hopefully if the weather cooperates and all systems are go, we'll have a terrific bonfire for that first BYOC on June the 23rd.
Yeah, we're also doing like in reverse this year because we're starting at Wright Park and going west instead of going west to east. We're going east to west. We're starting with Wright Park in June, and then we're going to Main Street Beach in July, the Dunkirk Lighthouse in August, and Point Gratiot in September.
Correct. And the new twist that we're hoping to add this year, at least for one of the BYOCs, possibly two, are food trucks or food carts. It's something we're trying new this year. And we're hoping a lot of people come to the BYOCs, so it's worth the while of the food truck or the food carts to be there.
Right.
Because they'll be, of course, selling their wares. We're not paying for it, but we're hoping it works out. And when we're at Main Street Beach in July, we had a great time playing bocce on the beach last year, and we're hoping to duplicate that effort. And like I said earlier, we're planning to have Tai Chi a couple of times, and Pete Miller, who's a member of Revitalize Dunkirk, leads us in Tai Chi, and that's always enjoyable also. So we offer a sunset watch event one Sunday throughout the summer from June through September. Yeah. So I believe our wonderful production staff here are probably going to list the dates and the places for our BYOCs this summer. So we'll hopefully have that information up. But of course the information is on our Facebook page and our web page. Right. And Jim, can you tell people about our Facebook page and our Revitalize Dunkirk page?
You can find us on Facebook. Under Revitalize Dunkirk, just do a search or whatever. You come up with, for Revitalize Dunkirk, and you'll find us. We are also, all of our shows are on YouTube, and also they appear every night at 9 o'clock on Access Channel, local Access Channel 1301. Which is here in Dunkirk. So if you can't catch us on the local access, you can catch us on YouTube.
Yeah, and the beauty of YouTube, as I've been finding out, is that say you have friends and relatives that were from Dunkirk but maybe live out of the area, they're in Florida or DC or out on the West Coast, they can see all of our shows on YouTube. So, tell your friends and
From the
relatives.
early years right up to our present.
Yeah.
Fantastic shows.
That's right. We've done about 13 shows now,
I think this is our
15,
13th.
something like that. I
Did
haven't
I say
counted
13?
them, but
That's, is that unlucky?
no, it's lucky. But yes, we have them all on YouTube, and last month's show was our longest show that we've ever had because we interviewed Harriet Skeeter Tower to thank her for all she's done for the city of Dunkirk before she takes off for other parts, and she's moving away hopefully soon. She hopes soon to
We don't hope she moves
no,
away.
we don't hope, but to another part of the country. And so that was our longest show, but we enjoyed it because we like to make Skeeter laugh. And
wonder what's wrong with us. I don't know.
she always does wonder what's wrong with us. But sometimes we get rather silly, but most of the time we just want to share information with our viewers. And if you live in the city of Dunkirk, you can watch us on cable channel 1301. But if you don't live in the city of Dunkirk, you can't. But you can catch us on YouTube. So that's the beauty of YouTube.
And also with Revitalize Dunkirk, you can also contact us. We have a website. You can contact us there. It's revitalizedunkirk.com. And you can also, by snail mail, I think that's the proper term nowadays.
Right, it is.
At P.O. Box 107 here in Dunkirk. Okay, so I think we got everything right.
Right. And we always welcome the public to come to our monthly meetings. And the nice thing about Revitalize Dunkirk, and we're proud to announce, and I'll turn this to Jim certainly, we've reached kind of a landmark in terms of our memberships. We're well over 50 people now, aren't we, Jim?
We've crossed the 50 mark. So we're up to 56 members as of last week and like that. So that's a great accomplishment because we started off with
a handful of people wanting to revitalize Dunkirk.
And, we also, when we crossed 50, our 50th member, we sort of said, send them a thank you. We like a little gift that just like a thank you for, being a member of Revitalize Dunkirk, because we value every member. But if you want to just come to a meeting and see what we're all about,
And when do we meet, Jim? And anyone's welcome to come. You want to tell the folks?
Every third Thursday of the month at 6:30 p.m. at 214 Central Avenue, the Fredonia Technology Incubator.
So our next meeting is June the 20th, which is the third Thursday of June at 6:30.
That's right.
And we're having a guest speaker, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite...
it isn't? But we had a guest speaker at our last meeting in May. And you want to talk about who we had as our guest?
We had Kevin Luce, who is the new farmers market manager. And it was very interesting because he actually asked us for our input.
He seemed very interested because we had, myself included, had very definite opinions about how the farmers market might be improved in Dunkirk. And he seemed receptive, and he seemed to be listening, and he took notes, and he certainly has ideas too. And the nice thing that I heard Mr. Luce say was that he's talking with people from the Fredonia Farmers Market and the Westfield Farmers Market, because they have well-established, very successful farmers
like
market.
The baby of the group, because,
right?
We're still learning to go on a little bit, but but I think he said the only thing that they're looking for right now, they got everybody back that was there last year. The only one they don't have is a baker. So if anybody...
Oh, they're looking for a baker.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so if you know a baker, get them on over to the farmer's market.
Are you going to bake? Get a baker's hat and a smock?
I'll try something. Yeah.
Okay. Slap something together. the flour and sugar will go flying. Yeah. I can see it all now. Something that is certainly noticeable in the city of Dunkirk every spring, and has been for the past few years, Revitalize Dunkirk, the beautification committee, is responsible for getting those gorgeous flower baskets up on the streets of Dunkirk every year. And Jim, this year is another banner year for the beautification efforts because
we're up to 55 baskets.
55 hanging baskets.
So it must be something to do with 50 this year. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the 50s are...
We got a basket for every member. Yeah.
That's right. So there, you know, we've seen the plans for what the color schemes are going to be this year, and they're going to be gorgeous, certainly. And we've had a lot of cooperation from the City of Dunkirk in making extra brackets when we've needed extra brackets, and watering them and keeping them, you know, looking fine all year long.
People are noticing them because I was talking to somebody today and they're like, oh yeah, those are big and beautiful.
They are. They're gorgeous. So. And we've had people contact us at Revitalize Dunkirk asking, you know, how can I contribute in memory of my dad who passed away, or my mom who loved flowers? And we're happy to accept donations, certainly. So it's a big effort, but it certainly makes a huge difference in the city.
Oh, right.
And there are other efforts sponsored by Revitalize Dunkirk that are in the works. They're not definite yet, but I know the beautification folks are looking to improve what we use as trash receptacles, particularly at Wright Park, because currently they're kind of unsightly, just barrels, you know, and they're not very attractive barrels. So we've been investigating what would it take, you know, to maybe write a grant or get some funding or some assistance to help the city improve the looks of their trash receptacles. So it's in the works. It's not, there's not a definite plan in place yet, but those are the kinds of things that we're happy to assist with. And
little things that, you know,
make a big difference.
That, help out the city, and you know, and we're pushing the waterfront too. You know, we want to make that waterfront look real good because that's sort of our gold mine.
Right.
You call it.
And to that end, I'm happy to say, and if you've been watching us in the past, we've reported this before, that members of Revitalize Dunkirk make a point of going to Common Council meetings, they go to Economic Development meetings, they go to Department of Public Works meetings. So we have representatives out there because we want to hear what the city's plans are, and when it's appropriate, we like to make recommendations to the city on things that they might want to think about that would, you know, further enhance the city for all of us.
And the Common Council meetings and like that are, you know, if you're interested in what the city is doing or what is happening, they're an excellent spot to, you know what's going on, because you find out little things and like that.
Well, you know, I always say that the negative Nellies or the complainers or the people who think they know what are going on but are pretty negative in terms of their opinions. If they mention something negative to me, for example, complaining about a particular city official, I'll just use that as an example, my response is, well, have you talked with that city official? Have you ever met that city official? Well, no. And I said, well, you have an opportunity every couple weeks. You can go to the Common Council. Have you ever met your councilman or councilwoman? You have an opportunity, you know, call them, meet them, talk with them. The more you talk with people, the more you understand what the challenges are for the city and the positive things that are happening for the city.
And the bonus, I guess you could say, is that I always, like with the negative people that just have to put something out there, I always say, well, get involved, because you know, Revitalize Dunkirk, that's what we're doing, and you know, anybody as a citizen of Dunkirk should want to get involved if they got an issue.
And we're an all-volunteer organization. We're a non-profit organization. No one gets paid anything. In fact, many of our members donate services or supplies or refreshments. A lot of people are just buying things, you know, for the good of the order, but no one's getting paid, and Revitalize Dunkirk does not work for the City of Dunkirk, but we hope to enhance the city. We hope to, advocate for positive change in the
Right.
city when it's called for.
Yeah, positive is better than
Right.
anything else.
And we
so.
support other nonprofit organizations too. And what we try to do with this program is mention, when appropriate, other events that might be happening in the city that some of our members are involved with. And one that's coming up in early June, pardon me, is on June the 7th. You know that the Adams Center has been reactivated. It's resurgence in terms of being active again in the community, and it's what a plus for the city of Dunkirk. And the Adams Center is having an event on the 7th of June. It's year 2 party. It's a kickoff. Year 2. And it's free admission to celebrate moving into the 2nd year of the Adams Center. So find out what the Adams Center's about. Find out what they did last year, what the plans are for the upcoming year.
It's already 2 years.
Well, it hasn't been. It's moving into the 2nd year.
Yeah,
but it's hard to believe, isn't it? Yeah. So turn out. It's free.
Yeah.
You bring your kids, introduce them to the arts. And by the arts, we don't mean just visual arts, but music, visual arts, certainly, arts and crafts. There have been plays there put on. There have been films, movie series, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a grand mix of programs, and take advantage of it. Another thing that we were proud of is one of our guest speakers, pardon me, a couple months ago was Diana Andrazik, who's the city historian. And Diana Andrazik spoke about the history of the city, certainly, when she visited us. But she's a great photographer, and she happens to have a photography exhibit going on now, and it's at the SUNY Incubator. A lot of use of at the SUNY Incubator.
That is becoming like the
meeting hub,
which is a good thing. Because
it is a good thing. So I know her show, which is concentrating on landscapes in our backyard. It's mostly about the city of Dunkirk, and she has some beautiful shots. So check it out. No cost. It's free.
Right on there is,
the one on the little publicity campaign is a gorgeous shot of the lake and a storm and the old plant in the background. So I believe that's on through summertime. It's on through July 5th. So you have plenty of time to catch it. There's no charge.
You know what I think I'm going to do?
What are you going to do, Jim?
After the next Revitalize Dunkirk meeting, I'm going to walk down the hall and take a look.
It's right down the hall from where we meet in the large seminar room, large meeting room. So right on the first floor, so it's very accessible. And there's plenty of parking behind the building. And while we're talking about SUNY Fredonia's incubator, I was disappointed to see, just personally disappointed, that President Virginia Horvath is retiring.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I'm disappointed is because she was supportive of Revitalize Dunkirk, and she attended several of our BYOCs, our sunset watches. And it was lovely to have her join us and enjoy gorgeous sunsets and chat with her a bit. And she was so happy to join us. And I'll be sorry not to see her at our sunset watches.
I remember she sent an email that was like about the BYOCs that, it's a fantastic idea like that. So
and we've kept plugged into the efforts at the college, working with the city of Dunkirk and the village of Fredonia on the Central Connect project. And so good luck, President Horvath. We'll miss you. Good luck with your retirement. I hope it's lovely and it's everything you'd like it to be. Jim, do we have any other news to impart? Or are we just about... I think we've covered a lot of ground for tonight.
Save your voice there.
My voice. It's been a winter and a spring of colds for me, but you've been pretty healthy. You had one cold, I remember, but other than that. So try to come to our next membership meeting in June. Turn out for and see us at our Washington Park refreshment station.
Hydration station.
check out our plans for Battery Point. Come to the May 31st meeting. There are lots of opportunities for you to get involved. And whenever people come to us with ideas, we graciously accept ideas and we ask them to be involved also.
Yeah.
Because we have hundreds of ideas, but we don't have hundreds of people to try to
Oh, wait, what
carry
is
out.
it? Boots on the ground?
Oh, boots on the ground. We love boots. Well, Jim loves boots on the ground. Even though you were in the Air Force, shouldn't
Yeah.
you be talking about drones in the sky
Well,
or something like that?
You think Revitalize Dunkirk should have drones?
Well, no. Yeah. Revitalize Dunkirk and their drone squad. So with that, folks, we say good evening. We hope to see you in another couple of weeks or so, and we hope to see you soon. Good night.
Good night.